One of my coworkers, unnamed, often greets me with the question, "What's going on?" That's the question that came to mind as I read and prayed over yesterday's and today's readings from St. Paul to the Ephesians. I had to ask, what was going on? What was going on in their community that led St. Paul to focus on family relationships and tying them to God and his relationship with them in his church? Clearly, St. Paul was reminding husbands and wives of the unity of marriage that is built on their relationship as a couple with God, and also the importance of love and respect for one another. And today, St. Paul's message deals with family life that includes children honoring their mother and father, and parents loving their children. This message of love and respect for our family members is one that takes the grace of God and, as we all know, some hard work on our part. I can't tell you how many times I've heard grown men and women say that if they could, they would like to go back in time and change their actions toward their parents or their children, or sometimes both. My advice, both for them and at times in my own life, has been taught to me through my own parents, through priests and friends along the way. And it is this: the first thing we need to do is act on what you would like to reconcile. And if your family member has gone home to God, pray for reconciliation. Tell them how you feel. And of course, to turn to God for his forgiveness through the sacrament of confession. For as we know, it is receiving God's forgiveness that we have the strength to forgive and also ask for forgiveness. In addition, we can honor both our living and deceased parents through sharing with others their virtues, the lessons that we have learned from their actions and words. And as Father Pinto mentioned yesterday, not only in the big, but in the ordinary parts of life. If you're blessed to have a family that you live with or near, then deepen the bonds of family life through praying with or for one another. And I would also add that we can learn to better hold our tongues when we feel our tempers begin to rise in some of our conversations with our family. My mom would often talk of how she never heard her father raise his voice to her mother. Even when my grandmother would get worked up with her Scottish-Irish descent, he would simply tell her, "I'm going for a walk around the park." And then we'll be able to figure it out. And they always did. To paraphrase my coworker, God and St. Paul are calling us to take a look at what's going on in our families and in our hearts. Are we loving and respecting one another as we should? Are we seeking to find common ground and solutions to our family problems? Are we affirming the good of married and family life, united in God? And are we paying attention to the needs of our family members, even those we don't always get along with? Finally, Jesus reminds us in today's gospel that to get to heaven, we need to pass through that narrow gate, meaning there is a clear and a direct path without ambiguity, one that requires the grace of God, and I would also add the support of family, whether here on earth or through their prayers from heaven. My brothers and sisters, may God bless you and your families this holy day as we seek God's grace to love and respect all those in our families.